All right, we are now live. So, all right, welcome to Blended Learning, August 24th with Alexia and Arthur. That's the title that I put up on the Hangout, so that's what we can hopefully find. Trying to sort this out. I also left this one as a public viewable document or viewable video. Last time I did not because I was figuring, okay, we're on a closed course, but I'm wondering if that might be some of the problems too as far as being able to view. So I left this one public. Hopefully that takes care of that. So anyway, for those of you who are joining us for the first video session, welcome. This is kind of the format that we'll be going through and as we do our virtual sessions. When we come back in September, we'll try to get on a little bit more structured routine of being the same time each week, and hopefully we'll get everybody on a little bit better schedule that way. So, all right, Alexia, do you have any opening remarks?
I don't at this time, but some of the environments that we were talking about last Thursday, the one that I was talking about, Kid Blog, I found out recently that you have to pay for it. And I don't like to advocate for things that you have to pay for, so I skipped that one when we'll be talking about the environments that you can use, which you can still do it. It's $29 for a full year of it, but I think that you can use some sites that are free. So.
Yeah, it's. I mean, we all know where our pinching our pennies can only go so far, and many different things. Unless your school, of course, signs up for it, but they're not so willing to sign up for things too willingly either. So, all right. So let's just take a quick review. Any questions over modules? The first couple modules here. Are we able to get through those? Any other further questions as we're at this point? Oh, I see a comment from Jamie Clark, and said that must be new. I used it for free last year, so apparently she's re-commenting to what Alexia said. And if you're just joining us for the first time, we will be reading the group chat on the right side. Some people's platform is not able to show the group chat, so we're not reading the messages just to be redundant. It's just some of your formats are not able to see that. So that's where we're at. Okay, so I guess what we're doing today is we're looking at, we're going to discuss the platforms that you're choosing to use and for your class this year. So who wants to go first? Don't everybody jump at once.
I want to use.
All right.
So for the people that have already picked, can you go over why you picked your environment, and then for people that haven't picked, we can go through some of the ones that you can use.
I picked Haiku for right now anyway. I was really unfamiliar with most of them, and so as I worked through Module 3, it took you to each of the different ones and gave some other ideas. And for me, it just seemed the most user-friendly. It was all set up for me, did all the connections. I like user-friendly and easy to use. But like I said, I've just started with it, so maybe there will be glitches, or maybe I'll find out I don't like it. But it seemed really easy to navigate through. It created your grading book for you. It linked assignments. It has docs.
And it has the calendar with it, which I think is a big thing for the upper grades.
And you
to
can
see that visual.
import easily website links, documents, all those types of things right into it. So for me, it was basically what is going to be most time efficient for me and what will be something that I can quickly learn.
That sounds good. Anybody else who's picked yet?
I'm in the process of picking. I created a Google Classroom, but I didn't actually add students or anything yet. And I started creating a Weebly page because I thought, from looking at how our teacher pages are with Lincoln and what, I don't even remember what that's called.
The school wires.
Yes, a Weebly is so much easier to create and put together and add stuff on it. And so as of right now, I created a Google Classroom, but I haven't done anything with it, and I started creating a Weebly page.
Well, if you need somebody to be sample students, they have to be with the EUP school, so you can add Arthur and I so that you can see what assignments look like.
Okay.
And I think that they might even, if you email the ISD, they might give you like a sample student email so that you can see what it looks like from their perspective and like what the emails look like.
Oh, perfect.
And I would echo your thoughts on SchoolWires. It's not the easiest platform to use, and I also have a Weebly page for my classroom. So as soon as you log on to SchoolWires, I just say, click here to go to my website, and because it's a lot easier updating the Weebly pages versus the SchoolWires. And I wish the ISD would get that figured out, because it's just, or I'm not sure what platform they have, but I see Jamie also uses a Weebly page too. It's just, if you've not used it, there's other platforms too that are easy website creators, and it's a whole lot more simple than it used to be. I mean, it used to be you had to know code and all of this. Pretty much with the Weebly, which is one I'm familiar with, it's pretty much click and drag, and you can create your own little website. So, and with the educator website, it's free, so that's helpful. But so if you struggle with the SchoolWires, and I believe that's the whole EUP uses that as their platform. Maybe other schools have chosen to go to something different, but it is an alternative. You just need to make sure that on your SchoolWire site you have a link to say, hey, click here to go to the site. And also, just a thought on that too is, I know Sioux Schools a couple years ago, they were checking on how often you updated your SchoolWire site. So I just went in and changed one little thing, maybe change the color, the font, or put a season up there, Merry Christmas, or things like that. Just one little quick thing, and that way it counted as a change when they were monitoring how many changes were happening. But so it's something to be aware of with each school, just to find out, is that something that you need to keep current. So sorry, a little bit of a tangent that we got off the platform, but. All right, so let's see. Anybody else? Let's see. So Carrie, Jamie, Laura, Megan, any thoughts as far as where you're at so far on the platforms?
I plan on using Moodle just because I have to use it at LSSU anyway, and I'm getting training there, so I'll just put that over into Sioux High. So.
That makes sense. Keep a platform that, instead of trying to go across multiple platforms, stick with one that you have to use anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm trying to use Wiki. I think I created a classroom, and also Google Docs. I created a classroom, but no students.
So, okay, well, we're still getting the list as far as, I know, Laura, because you're in the same building as I am, that all we got was a PDF list of our students, and that's likely to change about 10 times between now and the beginning of school. But so we don't even really have any live links for students right now. So good. Carrie posted on the side here, I'm undecided but gathering ideas. So all right, you're on the gathering ideas, and that's what we're doing here today. So, and Jamie chimed in also. I'm with Carrie, planning on working hard today to decide. And Alexia has left the show again. We'll have to talk with her about that. So, did anybody check out Edmodo? Just as a thought. I'm going to try to. I need to pull up the screen, the correct screen here first. I set up an Edmodo account this morning just to show. It's very similar to Facebook, and let me just get it brought up here first of all. And I'm going to go to screen share. And so let's see. So here's so I'm going to start screen share right now. So you should see an Edmodo page. So you can see it's very similar to a Facebook kind of setup here. So I just was working at setting it up, and I set it up for students 2015-16, but I don't have students in there yet. But you can do a group invitation code, So for students that might be familiar with the Facebook setup, this would be a way to use this. I have not used this in the past. I was planning on transitioning to using this more this year than I have in the past. I have a coworker that uses this quite often, and so this is just a neat way of doing it. But you can invite your students with a group code here. But as I look through, it's just kind of neat because you can post your assignments. So you have assignment title, you can put the due date in here. You can create online quizzes. You can do a poll question, so you can get interaction with your students. And as we went through some of those early modules about, one of the things, the benefits that we saw of the blended learning is sometimes you're able to draw students that might not otherwise answer in class. So with the poll and things like that. And snapshot, I guess I haven't taken a real quick look at this one yet. But again, like I said, I'm hoping to incorporate this one this year. So I was just looking through this morning and just trying to take a look to see how we could go ahead and use this. Another one that I had set up, let's see, is the Google Classroom. I don't have that one live right now. I'm going to just click back on the screen to see if there's any comments that have come through. So, okay, no new comments and no Alexia. So, all right. So, just be patient with me here for a second. What I'm going to do is try to click back over on, let me just make sure, because I just got a little thing up here. It says your screen sharing, present to everyone. Is everyone, can you just let me know if you're able to see the screen share right now? Either give me a thumbs up on your video or put a comment in the chat box. So, okay, so, all right, hey, and Alexia's back.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah, you keep disappearing on us. Oh, anyway, what I did while you were off air there, Alexia, was I went ahead and showed a Edmodo page. So I'm going to try transitioning into the Edmodo this year. I've not used it in the past, but I'm going to try to do that. So then I was going to go to. I need to click on the right spot here. I'm going to try going to Google. To a Google Classroom, and so let me just see here.
I was able to join this Google Hangout through my EUP Schools website.
You were?
Yep, but it doesn't have all of the apps on the side like it does for my regular Gmail address.
Okay. When you do go to Google Classroom, you have to be outside of Google Plus, I found out, because some smart aleck decided they were going to create a Google Plus account called Google Classroom. And it's not the same. So. All right. And I had signed up on this one last year. I toyed with it for a little while. And they've made some improvements since last year. Last year I didn't find that it was appropriate for me to use in a fourth grade classroom. But this year, as I was working through this in preparation for this session, I found that it's a little bit, they've kind of cleaned things up a little bit. And very similar to Edmodo in some of the some ways, you can go ahead, we don't need that right now. But you can change your photo at the top. I changed mine from the basic one they had. It was more of a high school science theme. And it's I'm fourth grade. So anyway, here's you can go ahead and you can invite your students. They can put in a code, things like this. The students can post and comment. Not quite as many features as the Edmodo, but I know that Christine is going to be using Google Classroom. She mentioned that in some correspondence. And so it's just another way that you can do that. Let me go back to the stream. So you can have a welcome to the class, announcements, assignments. So you can put attachments with those assignments, things like that. So
Google Classroom is pretty similar. It has like a social media format. When you post things, that's automatically at the top. with your due date, you can add future due date.
So, yep. So those are just some of the features of those two particular programs, and I should have just stopped. Yep, there we are. I was going to say I just stopped the screen sharing. Lexi, did you have any particular ones that you wanted to share as well?
I think she froze.
Ah, she's frozen again. Oh boy, this is making things a little bit more challenging because we kind of go back and forth a little bit.
Yeah, no, she just sent me a text message. My computer did it again. So.
Okay, so all right, let's see. You've got a few more comments. Oh, okay, those were just the yeses that people were looking at, or were confirming that they could see.
I thought what was helpful for me when I chose to pursue looking at haiku more was I went online and found an example of a blended learning project to see what kind of platform that they had used, and they happened to use haiku, so I was seeing how they had used it, which made it a lot easier for me because I like to see the end result before I start trying to figure out all the components. So that's how I chose to pursue that one a little bit more.
Why don't we go ahead? I know you have it up on the other computer, but do you mind showing your account?
No, that's fine.
Okay. So we just gotta. She was using it on a.
No, it's haikulearning.com.
Oh,
make sure you put in haikulearning.com, or you get this other site and you can't navigate.
Yeah, you can do poetry instead. All right, so bear with me. I'm bringing up Karen's site here really quick, and we just have to sign in. And once we do that, I'll go back to screen share. You should have your sign in right here.
There we go. Sorry.
So hold on, and we'll let her. And I need to go over to the screen share here. Get everybody back. Find screen share one more time. And screen share. Okay. Should be on screen share again. So if I'm not, somebody say something.
I just see a black rectangle.
Okay, let me just. So you're not seeing anything on the screen?
No, I could see Jamie, and I could see that they're on, but I can't see anything a big screen anymore. I saw you at first.
Okay, I'm gonna click on present to everyone and see. So are you seeing? Okay, I should not be on the screen anymore, and you should see a welcome Karen Brood, my portal, my classes.
Just a black screen. I see Alexia's on now. So,
okay. I'm not sure why you're not able to see, because I'm getting.
I can see welcome Karen Brood.
Yep. Oh. Okay, because I'm getting the comments in the chat bar here that people are able to see that. So I need to go back to her so that. So anyway, she has a haiku page set up, and she's been kind of playing with this one. So I'm going to let you go ahead and talk about this because I've not been onto this one.
Well, when I signed up for haiku, it just walks you through, and every time you get to a tab, like when you get to my classes or up here, it'll give you a little tutorial, and then up here in this help bar, you can click on this tab right here that says walk through for this page. And so I'm just going to go into this world history one that I've been kind of playing around with. Let's see. Like I said, I'm still playing around with this. Okay, so this is my world history page, and I can add pages. Whoops, sorry. I can add pages right here to this particular class on online learning. Readiness was, I just did a very simple beginning activity of basically the information that we received for Module 1. I just pretty much did the same thing that we had to do for the course. So I just added that onto this page. But if you go up to this help bar right here, walk through for this page, you can click there, and it will tell you everything about how to create a page. So it gets these boxes, and so you can click next when you want to add additional pages, and it'll go through all the different components of creating a page.
And when you're creating it, it's almost like you're creating the website on Weebly because you can drag things around and.
Right. So if you add a content block, so this is your page, and if you add a, so let me just click on a new page. So new page, we'll just say example. Save. So now I have a new page up. So that was the one I already created, and now I have a new page. And then if I add a content block, it shows you this. And so I can put text on there. I can import a file. I can do a web link. I can put images. I can go to Flickr. I can embed to the web, video, YouTube, audio, mini sites. So that I would put in my content blocks, and you can add as many as you want. And once you add a content block, I'll go back to this page, you can move it, you can edit it, so if you click on that little tool right there, you can edit, move, copy, share. And to me, it was just very, whoops, sorry, I clicked on the wrong thing. That's where you would edit, and I can edit whatever I did there. To me, it was just very easy. It had all the directions I needed. I could go back up to the help bar and walk back through it. And then they also have, so those are the pages. They have the calendar element where you can, and on mine, I think they set up my grading periods even. Start of grading period, first day of school, assignments, and they'll automatically put it on your calendar. The Connect tab, you click there. There's announcements, so you can create an announcement, which I did. I made one. You can start a discussion. Inbox, your students can just email you like an email. It's like an email, so it's private. Discussions are public, like our discussions are forums. You can create a poll. You can put wiki projects on there. I don't remember what Dropbox is. But anyway, and then you manage class. You can do your class settings, your roster where you can send invitations, and just all kinds of things. Anyway, I thought it was very easy to navigate through. Like I said, I was unfamiliar with all of these different platforms, and I was able to do this relatively easily.
Oh, all right. Thank you, Karen. And I'm going to have any other comments or questions for Karen before we click off her screen? Hearing none, we'll go ahead and stop this screen share.
But just make sure you put in haikulearning.com. You won't get there.
Okay,
And I know,
so about Google Classroom, before I keep going on something else, before I got cut off. So Google Classroom, it creates a file for you for that particular classroom, and then it allows you to share documents. You can either make it so that your students can just view them, so that they can edit that original document, or it'll make copies and it'll send it to all of your students so that you can maybe send a journal prompt or something that you want them to complete, and it'll create a new document for all of them to be able to put their answer on, and then you have access to them.
So Alexia, have you used Haiku as well, and what are some of the other ones? Which one do you like the best, or which one seems to be the most conducive for your classroom?
I've used Moodle, Edmodo, and Google Classroom. I haven't used Haiku, but I did have participants who used it and really liked it. I can see a lot of similarities between Edmodo and Haiku. I was playing around on them both this morning, and like some of the features on adding assignments and turning things in is similar. The Haiku uses Dropbox and the Edmodo, they can upload Word documents and things. I'm not sure if you can do that on Haiku, but I know that you can put like your Word documents in Dropbox. It's just like a file sharing system. But with me having the Google Apps for Education, I'm going to try and use Google Classroom again this year to see if it works out, because I'm going to have so many students that are reading at different levels and working on words on different levels. It'll just be easier to have them have separate ways to turn assignments in. But I mean, maybe I'll use Edmodo next year because it'll be, it's a little bit more like Facebook to me than, Google Classroom is a little bit more like Moodle. And I'm more familiar with Moodle with taking this course and having to, do some course customizations and things.
And I'm trying to remember if it's Carrie or Jamie. I know one of you teaches first grade, and I know that looking at these formats might be a little bit more challenging working with the groups that you're at, because you're more basically starting off with making sure the kids have the basic tech skills. But it might be something you might have one or two higher functioning students by the end of the year that you could do this with, and you could set that up, and as you work through them, if you have any of those that are working further ahead of the class and just you're trying to find something for them to do, perhaps you could use this platform for that. But we do understand that at your grade level, it's going to be a little bit more challenging to implement this.
Right, and Arthur and I are both looking at this as a fourth grade, how we would put it in our classrooms, and sometimes it's hard for us to put ourselves in your shoes on a lower elementary level to see how things work out. But if you're doing lower elementary and you give us feedback, we share it with the rest of the instructors and the participants that'll be doing things in the future. So it'll help out with those people that are taking the course next.
All right. What do we have next, Alexia? I don't have the agenda up.
I tried to get to my personal Moodle that I used before, but I think with the switch over from doing the .eupk to K-12 one to EUP schools, it wasn't allowing me to change my password to get in there because I couldn't remember it. But if you could screen share maybe our course, and you can turn on some of the editing tools, you could show them how to add forums and things. Because I'm on my iPad, I can't do screen
on the Moodle?
share. Yeah.
Okay. So
Unless, I think that Megan was going to be using Moodle, right?
Mhm.
And you've never used it before, right?
Correct.
Okay. So if we could go over some of the things like simple things like how to do the submit an assignment, the forum post, and what's another frequent one that you use? I'm kind of feeling like I can't do everything with this iPad.
All right. Let me get back. I have the Moodle up. I just try to be careful that we don't pull up other data.
Right. But you might be able to add another block at the bottom, and then we can delete it later. Do you know what I mean? Like they have the modules and the different sets.
Yeah, I'll scroll down here. I'm going to screen share right now. So, all right. I've actually not created a lot in Moodle, so you might need to work me through this one a little bit.
That's okay.
So the courses are prepackaged. So let me see. Okay, so I have us on our blended learning home. How come I'm not scrolling down? So, okay, is this coming up for you, Alexia?
Yeah. So you'll have to click on our course.
Okay, so here's when Alexia and I bring the course up, it looks something like this. We have access to, even though this is what you guys are open through right now, but we can still get into some of these things. So I guess I'm not sure what you wanted to address
Go up to
specifically.
the top and click Turn Editing On.
Okay. Yeah, I do have it on because I've done a few little
Okay.
edits here and there.
When my Turn Editing On, it opens all the modules.
Oh, it opens them all up?
Yeah.
I'll go ahead. Why don't I go ahead and open up number 1 because we've already done that one.
Okay.
So what it does is that it breaks it down like this, and so you can get in more specifically. I'm just trying to
Scroll up to the top again.
oh, hold on, I just clicked.
Oh, sorry.
So okay, I'll go back one screen here and
Sorry, everybody. I should have taken a computer from the school, but I didn't. Okay, so at the top, click that Turn Editing On right there, Arthur, on the top right.
it's on. It's on.
No, it's off. If it's on, it'll say Turn Editing Off.
Oh, you're right. Sorry.
That's okay.
Okay, there it is.
There. So these are things that you don't see. There are some different features next to each assignment. So there's some arrows so that you can move things like tabbing things in. You can edit the names of them, move them around, rename them, make it so that there's more people that can post on them. It makes it a lot easier. Like Arthur, maybe you could grab the checklist one and move it up by, I don't know, above latest news so that you can show that it's the 4-arrow one. Like it looks like a compass.
Oh, hold on.
So you have to put your mouse over the compass looking, and it'll change your mouse.
And so
And you can move things like that.
So I can move that up.
Mm-hmm.
And put that up by acknowledgements, maybe. Does it stay? It stays in this block. Okay, what did I just do here?
Maybe you can't put things in acknowledgements. I don't know. But it's very easy to start an assignment or to put a link on there. And how I added that PDF of the checklist, it's very, very simple. You just have to make sure that you click on the right upload document. If I'm, let's see, right at the very bottom under course communications, it says add an activity or resource. Could you click there? Thank you. So this is if you're adding one of those content blocks, and you can see next to the forums, they have the little green and blue symbol, and then that's how we know that it's a forum or if it's a feedback. The ones that you use most frequently are the assignment, which is right at the top, the forum, which you've used quite a bit of those, the glossary, and the lesson. Now, if I'm uploading something that is one of the PDFs, could you scroll down just a little bit, Arthur? I usually update that as a file. And it's very easy to import things in, and then you can use some of those arrows to tab it in or out. If I have some of my forums, I'll usually have those forums up for maybe 3 weeks worth of forums, and so that they're only visible to me. And when it's time for the students to be able to post on them, then I open it up for them. If you could close out of that for a second.
I'm going to go ahead and move this checklist back down where it was before we forget about it.
And it's not super clear on my screen, but do you guys see there's an eyeball next to each of these parts here?
It's just a little tiny eyeball.
And if you click that eyeball, like right now the eyeball's open, If you click it, it'll put a cross through it, and it makes it so that your participants or your students can't see it. So if you want to post things ahead, then you make it so that they can't click on things. Like if you have them responding to a certain story and you haven't read that story, you haven't read those certain chapters, or they haven't done that assignment yet, you can, otherwise sometimes kids get a little sneaky and they want to go in there and type everything that they sometimes they get a little out of control. But with the online learning, you really have to make sure that you are online monitoring things. And I believe through Moodle you can approve comments. Is that true, Arthur? Do you remember that or not?
I'm not recalling on that one. Like I said, I've not used Moodle a whole lot as far as creating the course.
Mm-hmm. It's not the prettiest
Editing
thing
what
to
I've
use,
done.
but it's pretty simple because they do have these little tools. And if you do get stuck on things, there is a help feature. I can't see where it is right now.
I'm trying to look for it. So, and that's the eyeball that she was talking about. That's why you can't see Module 4 and 5 and 6, because those are not turned on for your viewing at this time. Let's see here.
How about we go into a module that we haven't got to yet, so that we can see like the reflection, like what it looks like if we get, like what the screen looks like as a teacher, saying what the submissions are, what they've graded.
Yep, I'm going to go back to the home page and then I'll go down to probably Module 4 or 5 here.
Okay. And Megan, if you have questions on things, ask us and we'll try and figure it out so that you know what you have to start with. I know it's overwhelming for all of you if you're just starting with something that you haven't done anything with yet, or starting from nothing.
All right. What were you looking at specifically here?
Like the reflection down at the bottom, because it'll say how many people have submitted it and how many still need grading. And I think you have to click on the actual assignment to be able to see that.
And if you notice, it was a light gray. It wasn't real bright. And the reason for that then tells you that this is not live right now. If we had clicked and opened it up, then the colors would be a little bit more vibrant.
So Megan, I wanted to show you this because it has the grading summary. It tells you that we have 12 people that could potentially turn in this as an assignment. We have 0 people, well, nobody's got to it yet, but we have 0 people with drafts. Those are people that have started it and maybe didn't turn it in all the way, and then the ones that are submitted and the ones that need grading. So it'll show all of the ones that are there for submitted, and the ones that you haven't graded yet will still be, shown there right at the bottom. And if you click the View Grade All Submissions, there won't be anything there, but you can click on it, Arthur.
I did.
Okay. And it kind of shows you a little bit of a grade book. So it'll show if people have submitted it, when the last time that they changed it. It'll give you a date and a time. Then if you've graded it, and the file submissions, if they want to, upload a Word document or a PDF or something that goes along with it. I think there's something else too. Yeah, scroll to the side. Oh, your feedback and your final grades. So if you are doing an assignment, sometimes it's good to just say, I got it, like when you guys first turned in your time logs and you had to send in a comment saying, I plan on keeping this time log up to date. Well, we could send you a feedback comments that we know that we have gotten that graded, or that we know that you sent it in, or whatever you want to say. And then I'm not sure if you guys get emails when we send feedback. We do? You do? Okay.
Yes.
And that is a subscription setting that we don't like to change, but, as an instructor, sometimes you don't want to get a million emails while everybody's turning things in. So that's up to you if you want to change that or not. Anything else you want to see, Megan?
Um,
Like how to add something, or what an activity looks like if you add it?
yeah, like if you wanted to do, like, I know you have like lessons, like that's one of the choices on there.
Uh-huh.
Like, how does that work?
Um, do you want to go down to maybe orientation, and then we can delete it when we're done, Arthur?
Yep.
So it'll be down at the bottom of orientation saying add an activity or resource.
All right. So there we are.
So you want to see the lesson one?
Click here.
Yeah.
Okay. So click lesson
Here.
and then click add. And it gives you a little bit of information on the side there of what it'll look like and some types of things that you can do with that. It'll take a little bit because we're all screen sharing right now.
Yep. And I've got a lot going on the computer here, so.
Just put sample or something.
Helps if I spell correctly. All right. So we have titled it Sample Lesson, delete when done, so we can remember that.
So you can see here that the only thing that's open is under General. If you want to have all of those open at one time, over on the right it says Expand All. So here you can add files if you want to have your students read something before going on to the next thing. And there's a progress bar if you want them to have like the % at the bottom. I think sometimes we have that on our lessons. If you want to have them be able to view the lesson multiple times or to be able to turn things in multiple times, that's there. You can make it so that they can only view it from certain days. Like, if you plan on getting to this lesson or you want them to be able to view this lesson on Wednesday and it's only Monday, you can make it so that they can start seeing it on Wednesday, but it'll still be in your course. And I believe with the lesson that you have to add it to your course, and then you can change it you can add the different pages and things, because sometimes the lessons have maybe 4 different things. So you want to save that, Arthur, and then we can go into it.
Stay. Okay, save and return. Or save and return or save and display?
Do save and return.
And then as we scroll down, you'll find that
it'll be usually down at the bottom.
Yep. Trying to get down there. Let's see.
So it's right there, right below Module 1. What is blended learning will open on? Oh, those dates are wrong. Oh, no, that's right. Okay, so click on the... Oh, it's hard for me to see that.
It's right here.
Click on the actual lesson. The blue, yep.
It's thinking slowly.
Well, while we're waiting for this to open, I want to ask you if, I know Kelsey wants to do Google Classroom, and then you're going to do Weebly. Megan is doing Moodle. Laura, do you have one?
Google Classroom and Wiki.
Okay. And Carrie, do you know what you want to do? Or, I mean, if you don't know yet, that's cool too. No pressure. And Jamie. I can't see the chat box, so somebody will have to read it to me.
Oh, okay. No comments there at the moment.
Okay. Well, while we're waiting for that, so here you can see, you can import some questions, I know that during some of our lessons, it's like you read something on blended learning and maybe some research on it, and then you answer like a true or false question, or I don't think we've had any, choose all that apply, have we? Maybe just true false. Or you can add content page. That's usually what you're going to be doing. So if Arthur, you could click add a content page.
Okay, before I do that, I got comments from
Okay.
Carrie and Jamie. So Carrie is just wondering about if she needs to use a platform because she's in first grade. And then Jamie has responded, she's not sure yet. I like the looks of Edmodo, but need to play around with it more. So I'm thinking for Carrie at this point.
She might be able to use Compass, right?
Yeah, Compass, that would probably, yeah, because that's another one that is supported. The question is the ISD supporting Compass this year? I know there is, wasn't there a survey that went out on that last year? Last
I
spring?
know there was a survey on Discovery Education, but I'm not sure
Okay, maybe
that
that
one
just
on
was within
Compass.
Sioux schools. So, but yeah, I mean, Carrie, maybe you could probably start off with Compass as one to start with. But again, I know starting the year. Okay, so she's confirming that she's used it before, so we're good there.
Okay.
So, yeah, again, I know that's a little bit more challenging at first grade. You're dealing with some basic skills that they need to learn first. So,
But
is Edmodo compatible with iPads? Google that.
I think it is. But with the first grade classroom, you could even make it so that they have to maybe watch a video to start your literature circles, or so that you could be reading the book to them, or you could use it to work on fluency and they have to mimic you reading it and them reading it at the same time, so that you could be recording some lessons and having it so that they're still getting that technology thing. So you could still use one of the learning platforms, but it's almost like you'd give them, you maybe just be saving things on YouTube on a private channel for yourself so that only you and your students could view it if they have that link. That's another suggestion.
Okay, I brought the blended learning course page back up.
Okay. So if you could click on add a content page. So for this, Megan, you could click on, trying to think of something that you could make a page on. Maybe nouns. That's something simple. So then your description, you could make it so that it either had, and some of these you don't have to fill, and some of them you do. Do you see how the font is red for page title and then description? Those are things that you have to do. And then the ones that are black, those are not required, but if you still want to use it with your students and make it so that they can see that, so that they know what this page is going to be about. Maybe it's, so Arthur typed in nouns in French versus nouns in English if they want to have that comparison, or maybe you just want to have them, write sentences using nouns in, I don't know. I don't do a foreign language.
I was going to say, I don't do French either, so I'm just kind of out on a wing here. But you can see that we could change the size. So.
And it has some of those similar features that we're used to in Microsoft Word with bold, underline, subscript, superscript. You can also make text, can lead you to links. So if you highlight that text and you can click a little thing that looks like two chains are coming together, and it you can make it so that that goes to a certain website. So maybe you have them.
I'm going to try enlarging this.
Okay. You can make it so that it links to a certain website that they have to watch. I don't know, maybe a silly song that has nouns in it. I don't know.
So
just something. And it'll show up on your web page here. So you'd put that under the link URL. So maybe you'd have like the YouTube video or whatever link that you want your students to look at, and it could just be something simple that, look at this page and watch the, I don't know. You can do whatever you want with that one.
This is a made-up website. All right, and usually what I would do is also, when you do that, set it up as a pop-up so that it doesn't leave the page that you're on. It'll come up on a different screen. That way, if you go to a different, if you're bringing up another website, it's not taking you away from the page that you're on. It just brings it up as a new page.
And I think you can do that under Target if you click.
Yep, open a new window.
Yep.
So, all right. To answer, trying to remember, was it Jamie's question about Edmodo on iPad? We just brought up on our other computer here, Edmodo app's now optimized for iPad. So according to this, and there's an information, it's under blog@edmodo.com, but you could either Google it or go to the Edmodo blog and read the information that's there.
And I'm not sure how it would look differently on the iPad app. If my computer was working, I have a screen share thing that I could show you my iPad, but I don't want to bring it up.
Yeah, we'll lose you again.
I know.
All right, do you need me on this page anymore?
No. And do you have any other questions, Megan? It saves, and then you can add another content page, or you can make it so that, one of your content page just has a video. You kind of just have to play around with it, and if you have questions on it, you can totally email me, or we can do a Google Hangout, and we can do a screen share thing.
Okay, yeah. No, my biggest thing was I couldn't figure out, I didn't realize you had to click on it to start adding the content. I was like,
oh,
what's going
gotcha.
on? So.
Yeah, some of them you get to add that content right away when you're making the page, and the lessons is one of the ones, I think it's lessons and books, that you have to actually click on the assignment, and then you can put the information in.
Okay.
All right, we have a few more minutes. Anybody else want to go over some things? And anything else, or any other questions, or what they think they want to do for their environment?
Hopefully we're coming back to seeing people again. Trying to stop the screen share.
Oh, there it goes. There.
Ah, okay. So you saw it about 5 seconds before I saw it.
All right. I'm not seeing any other questions or things. I can't see the chat, so.
Oh, let's see. No, Jamie just recognized that we answered the Edmodo question. So she said, great, thanks. Okay. But other than that, there's no new comments there.
Awesome.
So.
And if you have questions on your environment, feel free to contact Arthur and I, and we'll try and answer them, or do a Google Hangout with you so that we can see what your screen looks like. Sometimes it's hard if we're trying to answer a question and it looks different on our screen, or because your classroom is set up a certain way. Anything that we can help you with, we're willing to be there. And
yeah, and the thing is if it's not as challenging to do a one-on-one Google Hangout, because we don't need to record it, we don't need to make it public or anything. So it's just a matter of connecting the two computers and going from there. So Jamie just asked if we can finish Module 3 anytime today, right? Yes, that's yep. So then enjoy a few weeks off so you can focus on your classroom, and we'll make sure that we get some emails out to let you know as we start getting things ramped up again, opening the next module and such. And once we get into the school year and people get a little bit more better feel of what your schedules are going to be, we'll probably be asking again what would be the best night for doing the video chats, video hangouts again, just because we know schedules are going to change once school starts. So we'll probably take another look at that. So.
And another thing for your environment, once you have your environment started and set up, you can add us to your environment so that we can see it. like add us as one of your students, or you can add us as a teacher in your classroom, because while we're doing assignments, we do have to be able to see what types of things your students are doing in there so that we know you're actually using it.
And if you do that, if you add my EUP school address and not my Author Arthur one, because I have to host this through my Author Arthur because it gives me more capabilities. So just make sure you put it under my school account if you do that.
Me too.
So, all right. Last chance for any more questions? Hearing none, seeing none. Enjoy your last week of summer. And I'm guessing some of you are going to be jumping into your classrooms if you have the ability to get there. I know there's a couple of us here on here that are from Lincoln, and we're not allowed in yet. But so we'll see you in a few weeks. And again, once we start getting into those next modules, they're not quite as intense as the first three. You can kind of relax a little bit, I guess. Not saying relax, but maybe not be as stressed out.
Thanks for putting up with my technology, everybody.
So, all right. Have a good day.
Bye.
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 And this call is now done. Okay, stop.